You're listening to a Countout Podcast.
Konnichiwa, what is up the internet? This is your good friend Curtis Spears, and I'm here today with an Okada's Shorts short. G1 Night 6, G1 Climax 32 action from Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. This happened on Tuesday the 26th. It is now currently Wednesday, but I wanted to take a little extra time and really think about the matches that took place. I was thoroughly entertained by this night. This was so much fun, and I really just kind of wanted to really savor the victory lap that I'm about to take. We'll get to that soon. We're going to start out with some block action from Chase Owens and the Great Okan. I was kind of looking forward to this one. I know that Chase is a very good hand, is what they would call him, a very good hand. He can make people look very good, and Okan is someone who's really been focusing his singles match chops this last year. And so I was kind of really looking forward to this one. I thought this was going to be a great showcase for Okan. Chase started out really hot. Just the second Okan got in the ring and ripped his mask off, Chase hit him in the face with the powder, right in the eyes, and just goes to work systematically taking Okan apart. Okan kind of starts working his way out of that early hole, but Chase is a super wily vet, just too many Healy tactics. He's using the ropes to gain the advantage over and over again. It ends with a C-trigger and package pile driver. That's all she wrote. Okan starts in a hole. Chase Owens has got another signature win in Korakuen Hall in the G1. And what I really wanted to talk about was some of the innovative offense that these guys were putting together. There was a great spot. I don't think I've ever seen it before. I do skip a lot of Chase Owens undercard matches, so, I apologize for that. But Chase went to do a sunset flip and turned it into kind of like a buckle bomb. Instead of bringing him over for a pinning combination, he threw him right into the turnbuckle for a buckle bomb. It was fantastic. Chase, killed that one, dude. Oh my gosh. This match was pretty short. I did not expect to see Chase Owens getting another win so early in this tournament. I thought maybe he would play spoiler for someone at the end. But, hey, he can. They're telling the story where he can get dangerous in Korakuen Hall, and that's cool. Good for him. I'm not a Chase Owens fan, but he got a good one. And Okan did look good. He had some huge babyface energy. He was coming back from being in that hole. And that was fun. That was a lot of fun. Shorts. The next match, this one was, what's the best way to put it? God tier shithousery. Okay? Kenta is banged up right now. Evil is on a tear with his, heelish tactics, the House of Torture, and you say House of Torture to any New Japan fan, and all of them know exactly what we're talking about. Outside interference, weapons, things like that. So I knew that this was going to be S-tier nonsense, and I was here for it. I was pretty amped. I know some people are against having that sort of fun in their New Japan, but when it's the second match or third match from the top, it's not that big a deal. It only went about 10 minutes. Kenta versus Evil, they were trying to one-up each other with their shithousery, of course, and I love it. Evil wants to shake hands and then tries to grab Kenta for the Everything is Evil. Then they're going to Too Sweet, and Kenta tries to get Evil by, raking the eyes. Kenta gives Evil a copy of his book, but Evil throws it away. They're hitting each other with a ring bell and the bell hammer. Evil chokes Kenta with the mic cord and kind of asks, "Oh, do you give up?" You like an I quit match. There were exposed turnbuckles. Kenta does the Eddie Guerrero spot, accusing Dick Togo of hitting him with a crutch while Kenta Sato was down. The lights go out when Kenta has Evil in the game over, which I thought was going to be the end of the match. They have a chair duel. Kenta loses via countout because Dick Togo holds his legs and prevents him from getting in the ring. This was the best Toriano match all year. The spot of the match for me was definitely Dick Togo thanking Kenta for his copy of Kenta's autobiography after the match. Bullet Club is fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Next up, Tom Lawler makes his G1 debut against Lance Archer. Finally, Tom Lawler getting in there to mix it up. And I loved it. It's something about Tom Lawler. First off, it's the battle of two dudes who look like they stink. I imagine Lance smells like Texas dirt and Lawler smells like sweat like all the time. Lance's new white gear is sick. White on white gear is my fucking jam. So anytime someone comes out with white on white gear, I'm in. I'm automatically in their corner. The fans, right away, the second Lawler's music started clapping in time. That's something he's only been doing for the first few shows, like trying to get the fans to clap along with his music. The second he came out for his very first G1 match, and the fans were into it. The fans were eating this one up. It was so much fun. It's so cool to see the fans responding so well to Team Filthy, because I do want to see more of Team Filthy in the future in Japan. I want to see West Coast Wrecking Crew in the World Tag League. I'd love to see JR Kratos come over and make some noise, like on some undercards, backing up Tom Lawler. I think JR Kratos would be huge in Japan. People would love him. Chris Charlton, my friend. Charlton, bring it in. Sit down, take a knee. You called Tom Lawler the king of shorts, and I personally take offense to that. Everyone knows. All four of our listeners know the Okada Shorts podcast is the king of shorts. Okay? So, chill. Charlton did later compare Lawler and Suzuki, which makes me believe that he might have been reading my Twitter. Lance was just too big in this match. Lawler's takedowns just weren't working. He can't take advantage of that MMA ground and pound sort of style. He's just not big enough to bring someone as huge as Archer down and work on him, which is really sad. But he had some good spots, even if he couldn't get a lot of sustained offense. Archer did get the blackout slam and put Lawler down for 2 points. But there was a great spot earlier in the match where Archer chokeslammed Lawler off the apron, chokeslammed him off the apron onto Royce Isaacs, which was fantastic. It looked like a car wreck. Great stuff. Lawler was having the fucking time of his life. You could tell he was eating it up. The fans loved him. Great response for him. Lance Archer is a fantastic dance partner for him because he got to play from underneath, which is something I'm sure he doesn't get to do very often, seeing as how he's like such a shoot badass. So that was pretty cool. Now we're going to come to my victory lap. Now it's not much of a victory lap because I'm not actually running anywhere. I'm currently sitting at my desk with a pug at my feet, snoring away, warm little puggy foots, and drinking a big old cup of coffee. And man, I got to tell you what, I called it with David Finlay. If you go back and listen to G1 Night 2, my very first G1, the person I said I was most excited to see what was going to happen this G1. It's so God, guys, if you listen to the the G1 preview episode of Okada Shorts, the full episode that we did, I kind of hand-waved David Finlay. Oh, he's a man without a country. What's he even doing here? He looks like a last-minute fill-in. And then I thought about it. I took a day. And I said, who am I most excited to see? And on Okada's Shorts G1 Night 2, my first G1, I said I wanted to see what David Finlay was going to do. He's got an opportunity here to really sell himself. He's got an opportunity here to really make something. Even if he was a last-minute fill-in like people speculated, that doesn't mean that you can't go out there and put on a show and prove that you deserve to be there. My notes for the match are time to put up or shut up for David Finlay. And well, other than the next note being about Juice's awful ass music, everything after that was, oh my God, David Finlay is showing out. When I think about it, I think about how I wanted blood feud. I wanted a match where they were going to go at each other, all guns blazing, fists, kicks, that sort of thing. And it started out very scientific. They were looking, it was a little too wrestling. There was a lot of headlocks. There were a lot of takedowns. And I was like, oh, this isn't really like a blood feud between former best friends. But as the match went on, the story they were telling wasn't of a blood feud. It was two dudes that hate each other, but it was two dudes that know each other's weaknesses and were looking to exploit it. I feel like they maybe had this match worked out between each other for years, but in kayfabe, it's like even when they were partners, Juice knew how he would beat Davey if he ever had to. Like he had it in the back of his mind the whole time. The difference is when he was happy dancing Juice and he had that in the back of his mind, he may have said, oh, I would just exploit his shoulder. But now that he's rock hard Juice Robinson, he's relishing it. He's beating the shit out of Davey and he's fucking loving it. He's throwing him into the barricades. He's working his shoulder. He's doing everything he can to show Davey, like, I was the star of Finn Juice. I'm the guy who got us into Impact Wrestling. I'm the guy who got us through World Tag League. I'm the badass here. I'm the rich dude who's married to the hot lady, and you're just some, reject. And Davey working as the baby in peril had me riveted. You couldn't help but to root for him. I don't know if it's because Juice was such a great heel, if it was because Davey was such a great face, or both. I think it was both. But once Finlay actually turned the tide and starts taking the barricades to Juice while he's just seeing red, it's getting me amped. Juice is playing the cowardly heel so well. Finlay's working over Juice's injured hand. He's saying that if you can exploit my shoulder, I'm exploiting that hand that you broke a couple of years ago. And he's doing it with the same exact aplomb that Juice had. It's great. I'm from the school of thought, like in WCW back in the day, if a heel introduces a weapon and the babyface uses that weapon on the heel and turns the tables on them, hoisted on their own petard, then it's not a heel move for the babyface. It's what goes around comes around, and you should know better for next time. And I feel like Finlay relishing in taking that damage to Juice, taking that beating to Juice, and working over his hand was really him saying, okay, two can play at this game. And he still came out looking like a huge face because of it. Finlay has huge babyface energy. I was so wrong. He does not need to join a heel stable. I thought maybe he would join House of Torture with a Shillelagh gimmick or something like that. He doesn't need that. I don't know what he needs yet, but wherever he's going, I'm all in. I'm all in on David Finlay right now. What a hell of a fight. It's not a match. It was a fight. Spots of the match. Okay. The crowd audibly popped. The Japanese polite Tokyo Korakuen crowd popped audibly at least 3 times in this match. The 3 that I'm going to pick out specifically. I thought that the best spot of the match was the crowd popping the first time Juice removes the turnbuckle pad behind Finlay's back and throws him shoulder first into the corner post, not into the exposed steel, through the turnbuckle pad directly into the ring post, and the crowd audibly popped for it. Then the fans audibly popped for Juice giving Finlay a pile driver on the exposed parquet wood floor. Then the crowd audibly pops because Finlay, once Juice is, in full heel mode, trying to hit him with every single piece of plunder that he can possibly find, Finlay turns around on him, hits Juice with a shillelagh, tries to pin him, and pulls him up early. He says, I don't want to win by hitting you with a weapon. I want to pin you clean. Picks him up, blasts him with the Trash Panda for the 2 points at 24 minutes, almost on the nose. And then Finley just takes the belt gimmick that Juice was doing. He says, no. You didn't steal. You stole Ospreay's belt. I'm stealing the belt. Ospreay, if you want the belt, you come get it from me. That's fucking fantastic. Because right now, I'm looking forward to the David Finlay versus Will Ospreay match way more than I was looking forward to the eventual Juice versus Will Ospreay match. I'm amped. I'm all in, bro. Like, David Finlay, let's go. Let's fucking go, buddy. The current standings after night 6. Okada sits on top of the A block with 4 points. You've got Yano, Jeff Cobb, Lance Archer, and Bad Luck Fale with 2. Tom Lawler and Jonah with 0. Not where I picked for either of those guys to be, but whatever. B block, Jay White, all on his own with 4 points. You've got Tamatonga, Sonata, Taichi, and Chase Owens with 2. And Ishii and Great-O-Khan with 0. Upsetting. Great-O-Khan deserves that block. That's Great-O-Khan's block, goddammit. All right, the C block. Zack Sabre Jr. Zaku sits all alone atop the C block with 4 points. He's probably the best tournament wrestler in New Japan right now. The dude always shows out in tournaments. He's so much fun to watch. We've got Tanahashi, Hiroki Goto, Aaron Hanare, and Evil all with 2 points. And Tetsuya Naito and Kenta sit at the bottom with 0 points. Now, the internet knows exactly what this means when you have Tetsuya Naito at 0 points. That's right, Kenta's winning this block. Oh, you thought I was going to say somebody else. Haha, joke's on you. Okay. D block. Now, D block, when we did our preview, we said, A block is the monster block. B block is the storytelling block. C block is the superstar block. What is D block? That's what we asked. And I said D block is going to be the work rate block. When you look at the people that are in it, that's going to be where the 5-star matches are going to come from for the most part. For the most part, they have. Shingo versus Yoshihashi. Fucking 5 stars. Ospreay and El Phantasmo. Fucking 5 stars. And now, Finlay and Juice Robinson. Fucking 5 stars. Oh my god, it was so good. All of these matches have been fantastic. And also, Yujiro Takahashi's there. But no one's good. The clear winner here, you've got Finlay, Shingo, Ospreay, Juice, Phantasmo, and Yujiro all on 2 points. Yoshihashi with the big old goose egg. But there's a lot of tournament left here, guys. And Josh from We Work Stiff said it the best. When you're looking forward to matches like Yujiro Takahashi versus Will Ospreay, you got full-on G1 brain. And bro, I got full-on G1 brain. I'm fucking here for it. I am so amped on this tournament. I get amped on this tournament every year, but I'm fucking amped right now. There is some good shit coming out of D block. And I really hope that you're having a good time watching it. Now, we've got going on right now, actually, and I'm about to finish this up and go and catch the tournament matches for today. We've got Will Ospreay versus Yujiro, Toru Yano versus Bad Luck Fale, Goto versus Hanare, that one's going to be a banger, and Big Tomo versus Tamatonga, that one's also going to be a banger. And you'll be listening to the dulcet tones of your bad friend Rafe Houston breaking that down as soon as he gets a chance to watch these matches and give you his thoughts. Once again, this has been the Okada Shorts Short, G Wondering from G1 Climax 32, Night 6. I'm your good friend Curtis Spears, and let me take a personal moment to say I've been pretty open on my social media about my mental health struggles, and I want to thank everyone who's reached out to me for a little bit of compassion, words of wisdom, things like that. And that's up to and including my good friend, Rafe Houston. And I know I say he's your bad friend, Rafe Houston, but he's my good friend, Rafe Houston. And I want to thank him for being my partner here on the show and helping me out in real life whenever I need it. He's a great dude. He's the best kind of dude you could possibly know. And also Ashley from the How to Talk to Your Friend About Pro Wrestling podcast. here on the beautiful Countout Network, someone who I don't know, but who's a member of the Countout Network family. She reached out and offered some words of advice, and she's super cool. I want to thank her. I've had a ton of friends, a ton of family reach out to me recently, and I really appreciate you all. Things are going to be really good. Things are going to be good from now on. I feel it in my bones. And yeah, that's all I really needed to say. But I love you all. Thank you very much. And let's do some shout outs here. You can find me on social media at eldestructo83 on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow my other shows like the Smart Foundation Pro Wrestling Podcast, where we talk about classic, mostly retro wrestling. You can find my nerd podcast, Throwing Dice, which is about tabletop wargaming and tabletop role-playing games like Warhammer and D&D. You can find my bad friend Rafe Houston on Faces Feels Cast on Instagram and Twitter. You can find his other podcast, the Faces and Feels Cast, where he talks to wrestlers from a friendly perspective, interviews them to pull back the curtain on their personality just a little bit. Super eye-opening listen, that show, the Faces and Feels Cast. You can find a ton of great shows on the Countout Podcast Network, like Your Dose of Death, Deathmatch Wrestling Podcast, How to Talk to Your Friend About Pro Wrestling, Ring Post Radio, tons of other great shows, all focused around this beautiful sport, this beautiful art form that we call pro wrestling. And finally, I want to say a big shout out to Owen at Riff Your Pod for our ripper fucking theme song that just gets me so amped every goddamn time I listen to it, and you're about to listen to it again right now. So, till night 8, when I'll be back to break down some more matches for you, this is your good friend Curtis saying, keep it right, keep it tight, keep it what? Shorts! Owen, play us out, buddy.
This has been a Countout Podcast.
You're right! There's buried treasure here! How did you know?
There always be treasure in the independent waters, matey.
Why don't more people come here for their hunt for treasure, Captain?
It'd be a hard one to find, but if you want to make it easier to find, tune into Independent Waters on the Countout Network.
Every Wednesday with your hosts, me, Zach Batista.
And me, Mikey Manfredi.
As we take you through the independent wrestling scene and find the treasure buried beneath the surface.
Whether you're new to indie wrestling or have been watching for years, this show is for you.
That's Independent Waters every Wednesday on the Countout Network.
See you there, landlubbers.